In case you didn't hear, the two close buds are as far apart as they could be. Donald Trump blasting back against Steve Bannon right now. In case you didn't hear, I'll cut to one of the more popularly quoted lines. Steve Bannon has nothing to do with me or my presidency. When he was fired, he not only lost his job, he lost his mind. And it goes from there to former Mike Lee Chief of Staff Boyd Matheson and the Washington Examiner's Emily Jashinsky. Emily, I imagine this is just a matter of time, but this was not just a tweet with some, some wandering thoughts. This was very coherent, very clear, very grammatically specific. What'd you make of it?
Yeah, no, I actually am really surprised this did not come in the form of a tweet, and I think there is something to read into that. This came, like you said, coherent, very well thought out paragraphs. It seemed like this was the final statement. This was going to be the president's, or at least what his press people want to be his final statement on Steve Bannon. And it's so interesting, of course, because so much of President Trump's base has taken its cues from Steve Bannon and from Breitbart. We saw that especially, I think, with Roy Moore's failed candidacy. And so this is going to test the loyalty of his base in a way that we have not seen happen before.
Boyd, he goes on to say in this statement that Steve pretends to be at war with the media, which he calls the opposition party, yet he spent his time at the White House leaking false information to the media to make himself seem far more important than he was. It is the only thing he does well. Steve was rarely in a one-on-one meeting with me and only pretends to have had influence to fool a few people with no access and no clue whom he helped write phony books. What do you make of that?
So I think this is the president keeping his promise about the swamp. Often when we talk about the swamp, we think about those elected officials. But the bigger part of the swamp is a lot of people running around thinking they're really important. Chiefs of staff, senior advisors across the board who are running around with their own agenda, trying to position themselves for a big payday. And I think part of this obviously is directed to Steve, but part of this is a bigger whack at the swamp. To say, look, this is not about, there's only one name on the door, whether that's a senator's office or the president of the United States. There's one name on the door. And those who make it about themselves are part of the problem back there. And so I think the president was taking a big swipe at the political class in Washington, D.C. to say, you're not all that important. I won because of the little guys.
No, I don't doubt that. But I would not lump someone like a Bannon in with that political class. He was a renegade and a rogue guy and who supported candidates equally as such. So I'm wondering, Emily, whether Bannon's bashing, the president's son, Don Jr., and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, that was the final straw. What do you think?
I mean, it may have been that because that's been building for a really long time. And I mean, you also have to look at, we've seen all of the reports that President Trump really gets upset when someone like Steve Bannon seems to take credit for any of what he's been able to do, which we know, the candidacy was historic, the election was historic, and it seemed like he was very irked when Steve Bannon got any of the credit for that. And so all of the stuff has been building for a very long time. And Neil, I think that's why you were right to look at the statement itself. Look at this very well-crafted, lengthy statement that was, I think, very biting, very strong, and say this is not a door the White House is opening up. It's something that they're opening and closing immediately, the chapter on Steve Bannon, or trying to at the very least.
Where do you think this goes? I can't imagine, Boyd, that Bannon isn't going to reply to his reply.
I'm quite certain he will respond.
Okay.
that will definitely happen. But then the question is, does the president have the discipline to say, I crafted it, I said it, and I'm going to pivot and move on? If he doesn't pivot and move on, then he's actually validating that Bannon has some credibility out there with the base. I think it's to the president's advantage if he pivots and says, let's get on to the elections of 2018. I don't have time for this person who came and went, who was part of it, but wasn't the central driver of my election and my success. Wow. He has to make that pivot. If he doesn't, he's validating Bannon, and that will split the base and cause more problems in 2018 for the president.
All right, we'll watch. The president, I would imagine, is a tad more popular than Bannon, but we'll see. The fallout from a fight is usually never good, but we'll watch it very closely. We're waiting for a Bannon response. Oh, we might have just gotten one. I know you are, but what am I? It's one of those days. More after this.